I wrote a book, Triangle X Squared Circle, the wrestling video game compendium, is available on Kickstarter right now. At time of record, we are super close to hitting the goal and making this book a reality. With chapters written by stop-motion extraordinaire Captain McKay, the legendary Jay Hunter from OSW Review, and more, this is an all-star lineup looking at your favorite and least favorite wrestling games over the last 30-plus years. If you haven't grabbed your copy yet, the link is in the description and the pinned comment of this video. You can even get your name printed in the book, if you so desire.
And now for our feature presentation.
Test your might.
Man, was that the best part of playing Mortal Kombat or what? Okay, maybe not the best part. Of course we wanted to hit fatalities and freeze fools and shoot shadow kicks, but Test Your Might, the minigame that pops up after every third fight where we're tasked with smashing whichever object is placed before us with one precision strike. This was awesome. When I was a kid, I felt like Test Your Might was one of the most recognizable aspects of Mortal Kombat. I felt like you couldn't have Mortal Kombat without Test Your Might, you know? They just went together perfectly. But in all actuality and in retrospect, we can see that that's not really anywhere near the truth. Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, Mortal Kombat 4, Mortal Kombat Mythology, Sub-Zero, Mortal Kombat Special Forces. What do these games have in common? Answer: none of them feature Test Your Might in any way whatsoever. This unmissable, must-have feature, in my mind, it only really existed in the first game. Crazy. Years later, Test Your Might would eventually return. We would once again be smashing. And not only would we be smashing, we'd be watching, and slicing, and puzzling, and racing, and more. Today, I want to get it all out. I want to talk about the many mini-games of Mortal Kombat. I've gone back and played all of these games that feature all of these mini-games, so I've got a lot to say. After the break, let's get to it. Every video here on 616 Entertainment is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed the show here today, consider signing up. You'll get early access, exclusive videos and podcasts, and more. Pro Wrestling Tees has the merch. As always, thank you for watching. I don't want to focus on Test Your Might first. We'll get there. That's the one with the most history. It's by far the most popular, so let's just bounce around and look at whichever, whenever. Deal? I like it. I want to talk about Motor Kombat. I can't wait. What the hell is this? A kart racer packed into a Mortal Kombat game? And a pretty competent kart racer, too. I mean, let's be honest. Motor Kombat is not going to stand up to Mario Kart World or Crash Team Racing. Quick shout out to Mod Nation Racers as well. How you doing? But this is super fun. And it should be noted, I guess, that Mario Kart and Crash Team Racing, those are full games. Those are complete releases. Motor Kombat is literally a, hey, wouldn't this be funny? Packed into what was already a full release in its own right. This is 2006's Mortal Kombat Armageddon we're talking about here. A game with a 5 to 6 hour action-adventure conquest mode, arcade ladders, online play, creative fighter, and much more. Throw in a kart racer. Why not? With a roster of 10 racers, everybody from Katana to Mileena to Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Cyrax, they're all here to compete. All with their own unique vehicles, by the way, and their own unique special moves. Sub-Zero, as you might imagine, shoots an ice blast that freezes racers in their tracks. Scorpion's special is out of control, with his spear latching onto whoever's in front, pulling them back while propelling him forward. So sick. Fatalities made their way into the racing landscape as well. The hydraulic presses will crush and kill you. Treacherous ledges, if you don't respect them, we'll see you falling straight down into lava or whatever else the hell is down there waiting for you. Look, don't fall down there. You got it? Then you won't have to worry about it. Motor Kombat may not be as well known as Test Your Might, but damn it to hell, Motor Kombat was fun. And what a name, too. Tremendous. I don't know about you, but I would love a brand new Motor Kombat. A standalone game. Why not? $30, 12 racers, give me 10 or so tracks. They're going to make the rest of their money on microtransactions, let's just be honest. Give it to me. Ultimate Motor Kombat. Let's will this into existence. Would you buy it? You know you would. You might say you wouldn't, but you know you would. Let's dial back one game from 2006's Armageddon to 2004's Deception. This ain't checkers, I'm talking about chess combat, sucker. We're trading in pawns, rooks, and bishops for grunts, shifters, and sorcerers. Attacking an opponent's piece on the board transitions straight into a one-on-one battle. It's fantastic. Each piece has its own starting health amount, with power spaces on the board adding big-time buffs. Shifters can take the shape of whoever they attack. Sorcerers, fittingly, have a list of spells to choose from. Did you lose a really important piece? Resurrection. Ready to challenge but your health has taken a hit? Heal. Strategy, strategy, strategy. Having the previews of which pieces can move where is the perfect solution to anyone who doesn't know how to play real chess looking at this and feeling intimidated. And you don't have to play with preset teams either. Set your own lineup. Choose fighters you're really good with for your important roles and get to work. No one ever asked for chess combat. You know, this was not one of the major selling points of Mortal Kombat Deception, but here we are, over 20 years later, and we're still talking about it. Chess combat made its mark, there's no doubt about it. Keeping with Deception, why not? Chess combat wasn't alone. They jammed puzzle combat into this deal as well. Goodness gracious, what the hell was in the Midway water in 2004? This gameplay might look like Tetris, and that's understandable if that's what you were thinking, because we do have color-coded pieces falling from above. We rearrange them to fit into the proper spot before they get to the bottom. I get it. But this isn't Tetris as much as it is something like Dr. Mario. What's the difference? Well, in Tetris, a completed row is eliminated. In Dr. Mario, you need to match 4 of the same color vertically or horizontally. In puzzle combat, we're sticking as many of the same color together as possible, and then using a coin of that same color to eliminate all of the touching color in question. You got it? That was a mouthful, but it's not as complicated as it sounds. Much like Motor Kombat that we touched on earlier, Puzzle Kombat has its own little roster of characters. Jade, Sub-Zero, Melina, Baraka, Ermac. It's a nice collection. Each fighter has their own super move that requires a meter to execute. How do you fill that meter? You score points by matching colors. Come on, are you paying attention at all? Some of these supers are very helpful, others less so. Each game is 3 rounds, much like a normal Mortal Kombat fight, and that's just too long. 1 round would have been just fine. If you're sitting down to play Puzzle Kombat, it's going to take a while. Your victory results in the loser taking a fatality based on the level in question.
Finish him.
I like Puzzle Kombat. You know, I like these kinds of games in general. So to take this concept and mix it with Mortal Kombat, that's an easy in for me. I don't ever personally need chess combat to return, but Puzzle Kombat, look, if Ed Boon came to me and he said, "Hey, you wanna play Puzzle Kombat again?" I'd be like, I mean, yeah. Let's talk about Mortal Kombat on PlayStation Vita. My beloved PlayStation Vita. Test your might, test your sight, and test your strike, which we'll talk about the latter two in a minute, return from the home console version. But test your balance, which uses the motion sensor gyros inside the Vita to track your fighter's balance over a deadly dangerous pit, is exclusive to this version. You don't want to fall down there, trust me. Test Your Slice is the Vita's other exclusive, and if this looks like the once massively popular mobile game Fruit Ninja to you, that's because that's pretty much exactly what this is. Except we've got severed heads and body parts flying around instead of, watermelons and bananas. Shaking the Vita explodes the bombs that will otherwise damage you, so paying attention is key. Test Your Strike made its debut in Mortal Kombat 9 as well, and now we're looking at the PlayStation 3 version of the game. Unlike Test Your Might, which is all about strength, Test Your Strike is all about precision. Instead of mashing as many buttons as possible and getting the meter as full as possible, we want to keep our meter filled a very specific amount without exceeding or undershooting for a set amount of time. Only then can we demolish the item in question. Let's go for Test Your Luck now, which also debuted in Mortal Kombat 9, but has stuck around for quite some time. What the hell is Test Your Luck? I'm glad you asked. Imagine if, right before your fight, a slot machine popped up and added a ton of random variables to your battle. That's what Test Your Luck is. That's exactly what it is. What sort of variables are we talking about? How about rainbow blood? How about instead of throwing punches and kicks, your limbs just rip off your body and launch at your opponent? Havoc's pissed somewhere. I think this is gimmick infringement 101. Sometimes you're on fire and you just constantly take damage. Is that fair? No. It sucks. But that's the point, I guess. You never know what's gonna happen in Test Your Luck. Headless combat means you got no goddamn head. How do you like that? Test Your Luck returned in Mortal Kombat X with even more possibilities like Young Bucks mode, where nobody sells anything and the fight sucks. I don't really know what happened in this one, but I'm Shinnok, and as soon as the round starts, I just die. I have no idea why.
Round 2, fight! Reptile wins. Flawless victory.
Test Your Luck is probably a lot of fun against an actual player, but I've never experienced that, to be honest with you. I've only ever faced the AI in this mode, and it can be pretty annoying sometimes. Test Your Luck would eventually morph into Tower Effects, losing its name and just becoming, way more annoying. The lights going out and moves not working, into Invasions mode bullshit like in Mortal Kombat 1, where guys have super armor that makes the fight take 15 minutes minimum. It's a lot. Just give me Rainbow Blood. This rules. And this had been around since Mortal Kombat 3, so whatever. I'm not totally sure these next two belong in this video, but I'm going to include them, and you can let me know if you have a problem with that down in the comments. Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe. Released in 2008, this mashup of two of Warner Brothers' hottest toys introduced two minigames never seen in the franchise before. Let's begin with close combat. In place of standard grapple moves is a clinch sort of situation where the camera zooms in, our fighters plant their feet like Max Holloway and Ricardo Lamas and just throw basic strikes. The fighter on offense throws strikes, I should say, whereas the fighter on defense is attempting to correctly guess the button input of their opponent in order to counter. I really like the wheel kick, and there's nothing like an elbow dislocation. Good lord. Freefall combat is our second debuting minigame, where either with a strike or throw, we crash through the wall and careen downward, punching and kicking as we go. Landing enough successful strikes fills a meter which can be cashed in for a super move to cap it all off. Everyone has their own super, as you might imagine, but I really like the look of not cashing in a super. That stomp to the chest looks absolutely incredible, so sometimes I forego the damage bonus just to get this visual. And speaking of cool visuals, in the level where the worlds are colliding, we break through the wall and we shoot upward because gravity and time and space are broken instead of falling down. Come on, that's awesome. I mentioned a minute ago that these two minigames had never been seen before MK vs. DC, and as fate would have it, they would never be seen again. One more time for the record, Freefall combat rules. Flashing back to 2002, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance brought in Test Your Sight. At the time, this was just the second minigame in Mortal Kombat history, and it rhymed with Test Your Might. It was clever. It was cool. Now, am I being sarcastic with my compliments? Honestly, no. I think Test Your Sight was a really cool idea. And seeing as though Deadly Alliance was the first game to introduce currency that would be spent on new fighters and costumes and whatnot, we actually had a reason to care whether or not we won. You were watching where that coin went, brother, because you were trying to make that money.
You chose wisely.
How does a blind fighter like Kenshi track the movement of a coin? He listens for the movement of the coin under the cup. I've always thought this was such an awesome little detail. I love it. Test Your Sight would appear again in Mortal Kombat 9, with the cups being left behind in favor of severed heads. Nasty. Alright, I think we all knew where this was going. Test Your Might, the most famous minigame in Mortal Kombat history, will serve as our main event. Whether it's wooden boards, stone, a fucking anvil, or something else, the original Mortal Kombat game had us mashing buttons and smashing objects. If you're wondering why I don't have my own footage of the ruby or diamond, the two hardest materials in the game, I was kind of wondering the same thing. I don't think I've ever realized that these two items only appear when playing against another person. If you're just running arcade ladders, which is how I've captured this footage, you're never gonna see these. Hey, live and learn, I guess. Shockingly, Test Your Might completely disappeared for 10 years. Why? What the hell was this? Test Your Might was popular, was it not? I've seen rumors that it was supposed to be included in Mortal Kombat 2 at one point, but it was cut. But I don't know how true that is. MK3, MK4, nothing. A decade after its first appearance, Test Your Might finally returned in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, now in glorious 3D. I don't know about you, but man, seriously, I remember being so excited that it was here.
Test your might.
And then, just as quickly as it came back, it was gone again. And it took, once again, nearly a decade to return in the mainline series with Mortal Kombat 9. This is the classic mash and crash, so we won't spend much time here. Instead, we will rewind to the spin-off titles Test Your Might appeared in the meantime. 2005's Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, a third-person action RPG of sorts, worked Test Your Might into specific levels. Some of these were pretty difficult, and I loved the one in the boss fight against Baraka. This was tremendous. Pulling a tug of war with Scorpion's chain to rip him into fighting range. You kidding me? Mortal Kombat vs. DC Universe, which was the 8th mainline Mortal Kombat game. Don't get it twisted. This one worked Test Your Might into the middle of a fight rather than between fights. Here, we're smashing through wall after wall, absolutely leveling the entire first floor of these Metropolis skyscrapers. God, this was cool. Mortal Kombat X kept it going, the classic mash and smash, or was it mash and crash? I don't remember what I said earlier. Remember the smash and slam action figures from WCW? These were awesome. Check out my buddy Jack's channel, Figure Collections, for a great deep dive on these. But back to business. Failure, of course, results in death. Of course it does. There are a number of different murders occurring here, all of which are equally entertaining, so, sometimes you lose on purpose. After taking Mortal Kombat 11 off, Test Your Might showed up once again in 2023's Mortal Kombat 1, this time in 2 distinct iterations. During Invasions mode, certain spots on the board trigger the tried and true mash and bash. Mash and bash? Mash and crash? Mash and smash? Smash and slam? Slam and salmon? Sam and Max? Max and Ruby? I don't know. No, seriously, every fighter now has their own unique strike animation, most of which are very cool. Kenshi does all of his work telekinetically, as per usual. I love it. Failure equals death. Come on, you know this by now.
See ya.
Outside of Invasions mode, Test Your Might also appears in story mode. Baraka's breaking down a door, Sub-Zero's avoiding getting jacked by Ermac, Scorpion doesn't want to lose his face because, remember, this is Kuai Liang Scorpion, not Hanzo Hasashi Scorpion. Kuai Liang doesn't have a skull face and he doesn't want one, so he gives Havoc the honors. And you definitely don't want Fugazi Multiverse Molina's daggers shoved into your eyes, so you'll test your might here as well. Just to be clear, failure in any of these scenarios, say it with me, results in death. Minigames and Mortal Kombat go together like peanut butter and jelly. I don't care which one it is. I don't really think there's a loser in the bunch. We've tested our might, our sight, our strikes, our slice. We've puzzled, we've driven, and we've done this and that. I love it. I don't have any complaints. Sometimes I've got shit to talk on Mortal Kombat Monday. I've got things I hate. I try to offer constructive criticism. Not today. These are bonuses. These are mini games. I don't find any of them offensive. And even now, I look forward to whatever the hell NetherRealm does next in this department. Oh, that's it. Those are the myriad mini games of Mortal Kombat. Now, along the way, we kind of went through the entire history and evolution of Test Your Might, and even though we jumped around the timeline a little bit, we looked at everything there was to see. So with that in mind, I would love to know, which are your favorite minigames in Mortal Kombat history? Which ones are your least favorite? Let me know down in the comments. I want to remind you one more time that my book, Triangle X Squared Circle, the wrestling video game compendium, is live on Kickstarter right now, and we are so close to hitting the goal at time of record. Grab your copy today, get your name printed in the book, and you might be the one who pushes us over the line. Thank you for checking it out. Until next time, I love ya, and I will see you soon.